Hey, good evening, family. Happy Monday night. Right here on the Black College Sports Network, ONG StrikeZone. Bryan and Kelvin, joined by Keith Hadley, Things Up podcast. What up, fellas?
A lot.
A lot, man. You know, it's like, look, it was supposed to be a slow day today, wasn't it?
Yeah, you might have thought. But it just goes to show that the news cycle is always turning, always churning, man. No news from Saturday quickly gets trumped by or usurped by something new on Monday, right? And that is definitely the case in the world of FAMU, right? Florida A&M. So hello to everybody watching simulcasting here on all of our pages on the Black College Sports Network, the ONG Strike Zone, Things Up podcast. I know many of you watch both shows, and so whether you're watching us on the Things Up feed or you're watching on the ONG or you're watching on the Black College Sports Network, hit the thumbs up and the like button. That's the first thing you can do for us on this beautiful Monday evening. Hit the thumbs up and the like button. I'm sure we'll get to something that you want to talk about, something on your mind, some thoughts and things like that. But we are here on this Monday evening to do our Monday night review of Saturday's Florida A&M football game. It was the SWAC opener against Alabama State, and second home game of the season in Bragg. And it was a Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock. We don't get very many 3 o'clock kickoffs in September. So that was kind of unusual. And so, yeah, it was a beautiful day. I'm sure it was a little toasty and warm. And, those of you, probably wisely got out of there an appropriate time in the second half. Yeah, that guy over there.
Bro.
Tailgate was awesome.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody on the tailgate squad, So hello to everybody. We'll say hello to everybody. Normally on the Wednesday show, we do the shout outs and all that, but we're here for a good time. We're here for an informative time. I don't know how good it's going to be. Not a long time. So we're not here in the normal 2 to 3 hour capacity. So I will skip right over the right. We got things to do. Keith, man, I got things to do, man. We got jobs. This is Monday, right? It's not hump day. So we got plenty to talk about, and we got some to talk about as well. I know a lot of you were itching to find out what's what. So we'll get into all of that as we talk about this game. I'll just set the table with probably, me. I'm always interested in these kind of things. The pregame line on this game was FAMU was a 7.5 point underdog at home. And I was asking the question, I don't recall the last time. Well, I think I do recall, and I didn't get a chance to go look it up, but it's been a long time since FAMU has been a home underdog of about 7 points. And I would probably go back as far as the North Carolina A&T game, the game that ended up being postponed from a Saturday to a Sunday.
Yeah, 2019. Right.
When they were coming off a championship season. We were clicking, but they still had that mystique about them. They definitely are not the current recipe of Aggie football that you guys see out there. So I don't know if that was it, but that was probably the last time that we probably were a home underdog, a true home underdog. So for me, that kind of raised some flags. But man, I tell you, if you've heard the saying Vegas kind of knows things, it's just take your word on it. Sometimes Vegas knows things, and they definitely knew about this one. So final score of this contest on Saturday, Alabama State 42, FAMU 14. Again, we have another slow first half. We get down 7-0 on the opening drive. And as we go through this first segment, in this first segment, we're going to talk about the game. So, and then we'll get into some other interesting segments a little later. But I went back and watched the replay of the game through some of the clips. And the opening drive by Alabama State yielded a touchdown. I think it was a 13-play, 75-yard drive, right? And that took up nearly half the quarter. And so when we came out in our opening possession, one of the things that bothered me was our very first offensive play. And Keith and I, we talked about these first plays, right? And I went back and watched it, and there was a quarterback keeper for R.J. Johnson around the right side. And the only thing when I went back and watched it again, I went back and watched it, and it looked like he cut it outside. He had Thad Franklin as a lead blocker coming around the corner. And instead of going, inside of Thad, he went outside of Thad, ended up only picking up 2 or 3 yards on the opening play. To me, it was a very unimpressive opening play. I think we came up with just a short pass on second. And then on third down, I think we actually broke Thad with a big run. He had a big run. But we ended up pushing the ball into plus territory. But we ended up stalling out. Why you got your head turned like that?
You getting there? Keep going.
We stalled out on our opening drive, turned the ball over to them. And
wait. What you mean turn the ball over to them?
Well, hold on. Okay, now let's clear this up.
Turnover on downs.
I'm gonna call those turnovers on downs just as bad as a turnover.
No, it's just as bad, but it ain't.
Coaching decision.
That's a coaching decision right there. Yeah, normally turnovers are accredited to players.
Okay, so let's start there.
Are accredited to coaches. Respectfully.
First questionable decision. You dislike going for it at that point on let me see, where were we? It was a fourth
and 3 at the Alabama State 48.
48, somewhere around there,
yeah. Alabama State 48. Dislike that opening decision.
Horrible decision.
Hate it.
On the ball, pin them deep. Yeah. You know they got a capable offense. They just drove the ball down 80 yards on you the first drive, so don't give them a short field. Your chance of converting that 4th and 3 was very minuscule.
Your offense has not been that productive to be able to warrant doing that. So I don't love the decision. I'm with Kelvin. Like, you're on that side of the ball. Pooch punt, try to down it inside the 20, but at least, at the worst, make them go 75, 80 yards opposed to going, 52 yards for a touchdown, any points. So don't love it. I know later on in the post game, he's going to kind of talk about it, but that I don't love it.
Yeah. I thought, on the 4th down play, another decision there, as Zeke points out, that RJ could have possibly run the ball, but he didn't. So we turn the ball over, we give it back to him, and which would turn out to be a theme. Short field position for Alabama State. And I said this during the broadcast, memo to the SWAC, do not give Alabama State short field position if you expect to beat them. We did it 5 times, right? And they scored 4 touchdowns. You can't do that. You can't. And I understand that the angst in the moment, but it turned around. They marched it right down the field and put up their second touchdown. A 4-yard touchdown pass. 8 plays, 52 yards.
Bryan, who calls the defense on game days for FAMU?
Who calls the plays on game day, Kelvin?
James Colsey III.
Okay. So
right.
what are you saying when you say that?
He's not doing a good job of calling the defense.
I get some of the 3-down fronts, but some of the time what bothers me with the 3-down front, normally the concept with a 3-3-5 is that you're going to blitz with either a safety or a linebacker or even a corner to really try and slow down the quarterback. And we didn't see a lot of that. I mean, a lot of times we just saw drop 8, and it's like, you're blitzing 3. Why aren't you getting pressure on the quarterback? How the hell are you going to get pressure on the quarterback when you're blitzing 3 and they're going against 5? Like, it's 3-on-5. Like, and it's not like, I mean, they're still college athletes. They're on scholarship, but they're going against a decent offensive line. Like, you can't just go out there with 3 down linemen and pressure and expect to get pressure against 5. That's not realistic.
There was nothing complicated with what they were doing too. They just running the ball and throwing short passes. And
hold on, I'm gonna challenge you there. But go ahead, finish your thought.
No, it was very simplistic offensive schemes. No, what I want to point out, 8 of 12 on 3rd downs. You stopping them on
Alabama State was.
Yes, you stopping them on 1st and 2nd downs, not getting off the field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, okay. So you call it may have been very simplistic, but what I noticed in their offensive plays versus ours, there was a lot of movement. There was a lot of motion. A lot of the same stuff that you saw against by Albany State and Quinn Gray. There was the motion of the fullback and the tight end from left side to right side. I mean, how many times did they actually, it was kind of sad watching the number of times that it looked like our defenders were focused on an overstacked line to the right, and they moved the fullback and tight end to the left, and then they would go around the corner and pick up a big play. As a matter of fact, they scored a touchdown on one of those. The motion, and then when
go ahead, finish it out.
No, I'm just gonna say, in comparison to our offense, the way our offense looked, it was that quarterback back to the left or right, handoff, fake draw, RPO,
no tempo.
No tempo.
We're gonna get to that. Yeah, we're gonna get all that. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the contrasting styles, but it wasn't even a fair fight, honestly. The contrasting styles.
It wasn't even a fight.
We're
gonna get to that too.
The contrasting styles of their offense versus our defense, and our offense versus their defense. I mean, it was a tough watch.
Very tough, Brian. The stat number 2 I want to throw at you. I'm throwing stats. I ain't even trying to give analysts opinions or anything right now. Net total passing for Alabama State, 106 yards for the game. It was simplistic. 299 yards rushing. It was a simple concept that should have been easily defended if you got Division I players. There's no excuse.
And your body average is about 10 yards per pass. At one point in the game, we're looking at a quarterback who was averaging like 3.9 yards per pass on the FAMU side. It eventually gets to 6.6, but some of that's in garbage time. So, I mean, if you were to pull I think, Brian, we talked about on the way back down, if you were to pull like a PFF, it would show that a lot of those, I mean, into the 3rd quarter, going into the 4th quarter, the quarterback has 99 passing yards.
He wasn't accurate.
No.
We understood. The first thing that coach always says before every game and after every game, we our job is to stop the run. We want to run the ball. We want to stop the run. We understood if you make Alabama State a passing team, that was the key to success against their offense.
I agree.
They ran for 300 yards. We're doing nothing fancy.
They ran 40 times for 300 yards, I think was the stat. I got it right here. Yeah. 42 times.
For 299. Yeah.
Average of 7.1 per rush.
Yep. Yeah. And it's against a 3-down front. So it's like, why can't they stop the run? You got 3-on-5. Like, it's just numbers. It's math. It's that part of the chess match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's take a look towards the end of the half. We had finally scored a touchdown. cut it to 14-6, missed the extra point. They came down and they were on a drive that probably they were within probably field goal range. Maybe even they were, the play in which we forced a turnover was forced inside of the let's see, look at the drive chart. Where was that?
Was that about the 10-yard line? For that fumble, you're talking about that fumble, correct?
Yeah, the fumble by
I believe
Alabama
it was like
State.
at the 10-yard line, something crazy like that.
Oh, by the way,
8-yard
by
line
the
right
way,
there.
we held them 106 yards passing for the game, and we won a turnover battle and got blown out in Bragg. Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
Okay. 8 yards. So what from that situation, we get the ball first. And so the little bit of hope that I had was in that moment, right? We had finally figured a way how to score, and that was probably our best looking draw. That was probably the best we looked all game. That period we scored, huh?
Probably.
I'm gonna say probably.
Okay.
You being nice, Brian.
What do you want? I'm sorry, Ron.
That was the only time we looked.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Like,
okay. So coming out of that, and I'm thinking, wow, okay, we get the ball first to start the second half. We've shown the ability to look better in the second half in our previous 3 games. Now, yes, I know. We lost 2 of those games, everybody.
No, not only that. What I told you about that garbage time stuff. I told you. I told you what we did against Florida Atlantic didn't matter. I told you what we did against Howard when we had to have the stop did matter. And then luckily Albany State was just less talented and tired. But go ahead.
Because the Albany State players even said we should have won that game. They were like, we could have won this game.
Well,
don't worry, Hollow.
Anyway.
Don't worry, Hollow. Trust me, we'll get the QB play.
Yeah. Yeah. So opening drive of the third quarter. I'll make sure we're on us here. Opening drive of the third quarter.
No huddle, shotgun, Thad Franklin, rush middle, 4 yards.
Is this where we start? We start on the Alabama State 48. If I'm reading this right. Yeah, right here. Yeah. We get a great kickoff return, right? Mm-hmm. We're starting on the 48.
Yeah.
We push the ball all the way to the Alabama State 28-yard line. Ended up going out on downs.
And we started the drive with a false start penalty, so.
Yeah.
I gotta
game management.
Look at that. There it is right there, Keith, right there.
Yeah.
Right there. False start on a second and 6, false start. Now we go from, after picking up 4 yards on first, the false start, then we got a second down and 11. We did get a completion out of that, right? Then we go no huddle shotgun, 3-yard run, another incomplete pass, second down and 7. Now here we go, 3rd and 7, 4th and 3. What? Turnover on downs. Not even a field goal attempt. Should we have kicked? Did we have a field goal kicker that could have kicked it would have been about a 47-yarder.
He has a leg, but we missed the extra point. So, you have to wonder about the accuracy.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you done shown enough of our stats, man. Let's do some analysts.
Long story short, some bad football on Saturday, man.
It was horrible.
It was bad. It was hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of people dropping on the sidelines and up in the press box. It was tough.
I went to the sideline, Doc. It was
in the individual numbers again. The problem stat for me is right here. Thad Franklin, 13 attempts, 75 yards rushing. And I think I didn't stat this, but maybe you guys in the chat will tell me. Of the 13 carries, I believe probably 6 of them came on our scoring drive in the second quarter. And of the 13, probably 10 of them came in the first half.
That was the second leading rusher.
I
felt
like
RJ. Sorry, RJ went for almost 200 yards total offense by himself. So
yeah, but yeah,
well, what is his record?
I don't
How bad did he get beat?
I mean, I love Kelvin, the analytic mind that you have over there. My problem is Thad Franklin, 13 carries, 75 yards. I mean, he's averaging 5.8. Again, he continues to average 5 yards a carry, but I'll close our game commentary with this. Okay. You pointed out who's calling the defensive plays, right? Keith, I'm gonna come to you and say, what's your take on the play calling on the offensive side of the ball? What's a miss there?
I think we can tell what some of the miss is. Some of the miss, honestly, play calling wise, passing play wise, it's and you can hear the fans saying it from the sideline. The quarterback's holding the ball too long. That's a lot of it, because when the quarterback's holding the ball too long, and I've said this before, the offensive line is blocking longer, you're getting more penalties and things like that. But additionally, as Kelvin pointed out earlier, the offense never really got into a rhythm. And when you're only throwing short passes, again, even Colsey says we're not driving the ball downfield. And it's not just because of play calling. It's because when you're asking the quarterback to do it, he don't do it. When he throws the ball, behind the receivers. And I got to give, yes, he's late. Like, I got to give credit to Troy Fat Mouth Sports. We were on the sideline. He's like, is it me or is he throwing the ball to where the players are at, not where they're going? He throws the ball to where they're at. So when you're running as a receiver, I'm running behind the ball and it's constantly behind me. So, that's a lot of it. And, you have Alabama State bringing their defense up because you're only throwing the ball. Again, he was averaging 3.9 yards per pass really until the fourth quarter, it was like 4.4 yards per pass. So the defense is all the way up. So, of course, that is not going to be able to run the ball very far because you got 7-8 in the box. So, I think the play calling is limited, but some of the limitations of the play calling is based on who's guiding the offense.
Yeah, I'm not going to hold back. I take, what we do very seriously. And I know the coaches and players are trying to do their best. At least the players are. I don't know about some of them coaches. But the bottom line is, after the Howard game, definitely after the FAU game, Brian, you can run back all the tapes. And you know what we talked about off there. I said we will see what we see out of RJ for the rest of this season because he hadn't played in 3 years. We're asking him to be something he is not capable of being at this point in his career. That's not his fault. It's not that he may be capable in the future. But for where we are right now, we don't have enough talent where we can compensate for his lack of game experience and his ability to execute. He's late with his passes. He's not going downfield because he's not even seeing it. And even when he does see guys, in the pros, the ones that are short and you throw people open at this level, when you're playing light competition, you don't have to throw people open, but you have to be on time. Your timing has to be right when you deliver the ball so that the receiver can catch, the defense doesn't recover before the pass get there, and you give your player an opportunity to make plays. Unfortunately, the quarterback we have is not capable of doing that. And if you understand what it means to be in the orange and green and coach FAMU, you'll make the proper adjustments. You would. As a matter of fact, you're losing the team. I talked about that too, Brian, didn't I not? You was going to lose the team. Now, there's a reason you didn't see Jet Petty. And that's unfortunate. And hopefully the coaches understand the urgency and they'll make sure we see Jet Petty this game. And frankly, Jefferson.
Yes.
Those guys I think it matters. I told you it matters. Those guys played last year. at schools they were at. One's a JUCO All-American, the other one started 2 or 3 games at the FBS level. That matters. We're not talented enough, and our coaching is definitely not good enough, or we can overcome a lack of consistent quarterback play. So we have to pivot, and if we're gonna have any shot at having a winning record, we're gonna have to pivot. Period.
And honestly, for me, when I'm looking at RJ, he reminds me of, and I kind of had to joke, but he reminds me of dreadlock Rashawn McKay. Y'all remember Rashawn McKay had the dreadlocks?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you remember when he would get in there, he'd be like, he's supposed to be the future? And then that boy got a fresh cut? Have mercy. I don't know what was in them Clippers, but he came back. Fresh cut McKay was a problem. And it was because he sat behind Ryan Stanley. He came in those games. He got those hours. He got that time. And, man, by the time he left FAMU, let's be honest, if he was healthy, he probably would have been over Musa. Like, he was the team leader. He understood the offense. He knew where the ball should go. He was confident. This isn't a situation where you don't like the quarterback. You don't like the results. And when you're looking at the results, it's telling you he's not ready yet. And it's not that, you hate the kid. I don't have any ill will towards these kids. You're wearing orange and green. I want everybody from orange and green to win. I don't care if your name's Marvin Johnson or RJ Johnson. I need you to freaking win. And what's happening is, and what we've seen in the better part of 3 games and a piece, is that right now RJ ain't ready. And that you continually to put him out there is now creating a fan base that is going to be disenchanted. And that is now going to start to de-invest. And they're going to remove their investments because the coaches are locked in. Charlie Ward's been at every game. Coach Beal's been at almost every game. So the other coaches are supporting you. But at the same point, you saw what happened at halftime. After the Marching 100 went up there, stuff was said. Third quarter looked like we weren't going to win. The stands got real empty real fast. And if you think North Carolina Central is going to be a sellout, you got another thing coming. Folks ain't coming to watch mediocre football, especially in 80, 90-degree heat.
Well, we'll come, but we ain't going to stay.
Not past halftime.
Yeah, we're not going to stay. Yeah.
Let's put a pin on it for a moment and get ready to take our first break. Both of you, said a whole lot there. And I wonder, will we even have the opportunity to make a quarterback change, as some of you want, especially those of you in the chat? That's a subject that we may have to get into in the next segment. That's called appropriately the good, the bad, and the ugly. Oh boy, a new segment right here on the Monday Night Raw show. I don't know. The good may be a very short segment, but we'll see. We'll see what we got. We got to find something good, Kelvin. You got to find something. So I'm just gonna let you think on it while we take our first break, and we'll be back in just a moment. You're watching the O&G Strike Zone, the Monday Night Review, right here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU Image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU.
College football fans, the Cricket Celebration Bowl is celebrating 10 years of crowning an HBCU national champion. A champion will rise at Mercedes-Benz Stadium on December 13th as the MEAC and SWAC champions clash in Atlanta. Join us for championship football, interactive fan experiences, and iconic marching bands. It's an HBCU family reunion that you don't want to miss. See who will be crowned the next HBCU national champion. For event and ticket information, visit thecelebrationbowl.com.
All right, welcome back to the O&G Strike Zone and Things Up podcast, doing the Monday night review here on the Black College Sports Network. Appreciate everybody dropping in and checking us out. Hit the thumbs up and the like button here on this Monday night. We're here for a good time. Well, we're here for an informative time, not a long time. We got a lot of breaking news that we'll get into a little bit later in the show. But we're going to come in with a new segment. Keith came up with this one. I want to give people their flowers and their credit when they can, while I can, right? So this segment, along with our grades, we will call the good, the bad, and the ugly. Yeah, buddy. Woo.
I can't take all credit. I got to make sure I give credit to Coach Hayes, man. Coach Hayes.
Shout out to Coach Hayes. Yeah, so shout out to Coach Hayes.
He's supposed to be watching the show too.
All right. What up, Coach? What up, Coach? Good to have you. I love that bad, though, boy. I tell you, bad is bad, right? All right. Well, Kelvin, only because I'm curious to hear you. I got to hear you. What's the good, Kelvin? You got any good from Saturday? Any good at all?
So here's the good. The good is that SWAC is whack. There's nobody running away with it, right? What I mean, BCU found their quarterback. They beat Alabama A&M. It's one loss for us at the end of the day in terms of the SWAC. So there is still an opportunity to right the ship. For me, that's the good. We still got everybody else to play ahead of us. That's about all I got.
Boy, I tell you, some of y'all in the chat, I know y'all frustration, boy. When people start typing in all caps, boy, Jesus. Keith, any good? Any good?
Absolutely. Oh yeah, always some good, man. First thing, the stand battle between the two bands was great. I definitely enjoyed it. I do know, some folks are a little miffed with the Ozipik comment, but look, the fact Alabama State played the hustle and flow, whoop that trick song, then doubled down and played Ho Check right after it. I was like, so we just not going to address that at all, huh? Oh, that was beautiful. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed the bands going back at each other. The fact that Alabama State, look, their band was highly disrespectful. Look, I don't know if a lot of y'all they were playing fanfares. I love it.
I enjoyed it though. I'm with you. Yeah,
I love it. I love competition. And for me, the fact that the bands had come out there and no instruments were swung and have a whole lot of fun. And the only thing we really did was kind of, disrespect the girls that, all the skinny dudes like anyway. I'm cool with it. Other than that, man, I think I did enjoy Thad Franklin. Like, I think considering rushes per carry, like as much frustration as you can say that you have with the game as a whole, Thad Franklin looked pretty good. And I also, at times, I saw some things from our defense that gave you a little bit of hope, but I think more of it was just personnel wise, less on like the actual execution of defense. Like I just saw our personnel. Some of them gave me hope, but overall, like I'm like you, Kelvin. I had to look hard for that.
Hey, the defense looking good. All I know is when we did get the garbage touchdown at the end, we still gave up a touchdown.
Right.
After that, right?
Right. I was like, look, some of the defense personnel, y'all give me hope, but as a whole, boy, we raggedy.
My good two-part shout out to Earl Hankerson. Earl texted me, said the tailgates were good, and they did. It looked like they were good out there. You know, the pregame tailgates. You know, these days I don't get a chance to partake as much. It was hot out there, so God bless all y'all who were setting up in the heat.
Yes, it was.
Boy, it was hot, but the tailgate looked good. You know, looked good. I did get some good pregame barbecue. That was good. I will say also the pregame salute, moment of silence. Trooper Craig Gaines, who was celebration of life was today, which many of you may know. That's why Coach Colsey was not there for his media availability on the SWAC media call. We know a lot of you like to listen to that on Monday morning. That's why he wasn't there. That service was supposed to start at 10. Who knows? You know, when you have those things, that it could go.
The whole they were coming from Gaston County. You know, they had all those, you know, the troopers and police escort. So, you know, that took much longer than what to get to the service. Yeah, you know, but that comes with it.
Yes. Yeah. So I was glad we were able to do that. I kind of tweeted out when I saw a picture. I said, well, you know, we got one thing right on Saturday, and that moment, it was kind of weird seeing Colsey and the team run out without him there for the first time. And I know that probably had to hit home for a lot of people, even Coach Colsey. So our thoughts and prayers remain with the Gaines family as they celebrate the life of Trooper Gaines and try to begin the grieving process as it goes. Okay, so there's the good. Okay, now we get into the other part here, the bad. Lots of options, lots of opportunities. Remember, we're here for not a long time, fellas. So Keith, I'll let you kind of start it off. What's the bad for you?
I'm gonna let Kelvin have a quarterback play. That's too easy. I think the bad is honestly, as much as I have hope in some of the defensive players, our defensive formations need to be addressed. Like if you're gonna run a 3 down front, then you got to do something different. Like we're not doing enough, and that was why, you know, I kind of asked Colsey the question, like, what are we not doing right on 3rd down? And I love that he broke it down. Colsey's very academic in his language and stuff, but the defensive sets are troubling for me. And also, you know, kind of going on that special teams side, you missing extra points, bro. Like I thought we was over that, you know. So, you know, to kind of not hit the obvious, because you know, offensively I could rake it up all day on the bads, but you know, I think defensively our sets need to be more challenging. We need to be more aggressive. Like you can't be so vanilla against a decent quarterback, let alone a quarterback that's good. And at times, Andrew Body missed open passes. He didn't hit everything. And so if you put a defensive option out there that was a little more challenging, what kind of mistakes might you have caused? So, you know, those are my two bads before I get to the ugly.
I'll get out of the way here with a couple of short bads. The lack of creativity from our offensive play calling, for whatever reason you want to label it, because he can't, he doesn't, he won't. I got to see something different. I mean, it just is not creative enough. And I thought Alabama State pressured us, brought people from different directions, different gaps. And you know, I saw their defensive linemen jumping up to deflect passes or at least change the throwing angle. It was bad. The offensive, I got to go to the lack of creativity from the offensive play calling. We didn't attack the ball. So if that's on the quarterback, that's on the quarterback too. We didn't attack downfield enough. I'll continue to say the bad was we didn't run Thad Franklin enough. On the defensive side of the ball, I don't understand the number of times I watched the missed tackles and the lack of I tell you the real bad, and maybe this is the one bad for me, was the touchdown pass in which 2 Alabama State receivers are in the same area as TJ Huggins, because what appeared to be the safety got caught watching in the backfield. He got caught watching body instead of watching his man run right by him.
But to that point though, you still can't block while the ball in air, which the TJ guy did. But yeah, go ahead. You're right.
That was that, and the ball hit the kid in the helmet, hit one kid in the helmet, and landed in the hands of the other kid. All the while, it was like 2-on-1. I mean, if TJ should have got, if he could have knocked that ball down somehow, he deserves SWAC Player of the Week, because he was talking about being in an impossible spot at that moment. That was some bad news Bears type defensive secondary play right there. And it was the epitome of how bad it was for our defensive unit in that moment. Kelvin, I yield to you. You're bad.
My 2 bads are, we had 2 weeks to prepare. And this is what you give me? This how you shoot your shot? 2 weeks. And to add to that bad, the mystique of playing in Bragg, that's what I was leaning on when we talked about it Wednesday. I was leaning on, hey, till somebody else beat us in Bragg, if we don't lose in Bragg. And not only did we lose in Bragg, I'm telling you what disappointed me the most. And this is at those players now. Where's the pride?
Yes.
There was no fight. Those guys around there going into the end zone, dancing and everything, man.
The whole team was dancing on the sideline. Whole team dancing.
Oh yeah, did you not see their coach had to stop them from stomping on the rattler? Like literally, their coach goes over there. No, I won't do that. Like their head coach stopped that.
I don't like to call grown folks soft, so don't make me do it. Show some pride.
SAWFT, soft.
It's wearing that orange and green means something, and you didn't show that it mean anything to you, and I got a problem with that.
Yep. No, call it what it is, cuz.
The ugly. I don't even know. There's a lot of things that were ugly. I mean, the ugly for me might have been their whole team dancing. Might have been the halftime comments. Might have been just turning the ball over 4 times on downs and they scoring 4 touchdowns. To me, that's all ugly for me. Unforgettable moment. I didn't even look up the stat the last time FAMU got beat this bad, but I heard some of us talking post game that it was the Hampton game back when Joe Taylor was coaching.
Joe Taylor was the coach.
And
they put like 59-3 or something like that. It was bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was there.
Yeah. That's my ugly. Keith, you're ugly.
The score. Like the score was ugly. Like I think offensively though, like, and I was purposely like trying to hold off. That was ugly. Like, and for me, the post game was one of the most frustrating parts because it was, did you think about switching the quarterback? And then my boy from Jacksonville doubled down and asked the question again, like, so are you going to move again? And it's like, well, looking at the stats, and it's like the completion percentage is there. I just got touchdowns. No, we don't turn over the ball, but we also don't score. And it's come to the point where it's like, at this point, you have to move. Like, this is insanity. We're doing the same thing.
May not be able to, Keith. We may not be able to.
We're not. I told
talking
y'all.
about
I
it,
feel.
but we may
Look,
not
I've
be
been telling
able
y'all for
to.
weeks. I feel
Well,
like the jet has landed.
Hey, we gonna move one way or the other.
Right.
That's where I'm at.
Because if Jet can't be there,
Somebody
Tyler
gonna
going to
move.
jump in. But something has to change. So I think the ugly is just the offense and just standing there. And I don't know if Jet just pretty much told him buzz off at the end, like, hey, you want to come in the game? Nah, good. I'm good at this point. I can't say today now. So that's part of where I'm at with this. So the ugly for me is the score, it's the lack of offense, and it's the continuation of seeing that something ain't gonna work and continuing to do the same thing and kind of looking at the results and thinking something gonna change. It ain't.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the same thing.
Yeah. I'm right there with you, man. Let me add a third ugly. My third ugly is coach. Is he over his head or not? Is he too prideful to win? You losing your locker room, you losing your fan base. It's happening in real time. We still got time. I told you that's one loss in conference. But if you parade the same product with the same personnel at the next game and at the next 2 home games, I'm gonna be there. I'm in. But I cannot watch for entire 4 quarters that product. That is not the standard, and I'm not going to lower my standards. Period.
No.
Hard to think that we're talking this way in the 4th game of the season, but that's the reality of where we are, huh?
Is it, Bryan? Like, looking at the landscape of college football, though, is it? Like, in the past 3 weeks, we've had 4 or 5 coaches get fired. University of Arkansas's coach got fired this weekend. We saw Mike Gundy gets fired the week before. Before that, you saw Deshaun Foster get fired, and there's no DEI, nothing about that. That brother shouldn't have got the job in the first place, but then he gets fired and nobody's mad. And the same week, somebody else. In this day and this state of athletics, especially when the purse strings are tightening up for all of us, if you're not winning, you're losing. And you're not just losing in the stands and in the stat category, you also losing when it comes to the pocketbooks. Because I promise you, those vendors are going to be missing out on a little bit of coin because folks, the attendance numbers are going to drop. Everybody's not just going to go out there and tailgate and hang out. Some folks going to be like, man, I can watch this at home. You compete against
that part.
And
that part, Keith, about the financials. You mentioned that attendance was listed at 13,515, which we know that's not the real attendance numbers.
They ain't counting students, Doc. They ain't counting students.
Right. But to the bigger point of the financials, where you mentioned Perry Street, vendors, people don't come out to the game when you're losing. And not just losing, but when people don't believe that there is hope of winning. See, hope is what keeps us coming. Hope is what keeps us coming back. Like, it's funny. I hear North Carolina A&M, I'm using them for perspective here. They've been losing. They were bad. Losing the last couple of years. They had lost hope with the coach they had. They now all of a sudden have a new coach. They're still losing bad, lost really bad. But I hear them fans talk about, well, we're seeing better effort. We're seeing better performance, and we understand that the coach has to change the culture. So there is hope. We're right at the edge there, and we kind of jokingly on other shows talk about fan bases on the ledge. Right now, there are FAMU Rattler Nation. We are pushing people. We just jumping ourselves or pushing other people off the ledge because hope is no longer permeating through Rattler Nation right now.
Man,
hope,
Bryan, you being nice, man. We over here on Newports and Black and Mile Wood. Man, come on, man. Folks over here drinking E&J. Man, there ain't no hope right here.
My point is that when people don't have hope, it affects finances. And when finances are affected, it affects all the other stuff with the football program. People don't give to the program. People don't support the program. All kinds of things. So to your point, Kelvin, about the trickle-down effect of where we are right now and not making certain kinds of changes, that's what happens when there is no hope, and the fan base doesn't have hope right now. They don't.
Well, you kind of right. I agree with
just my opinion. I don't have to be right or wrong. I'm just my opinion.
But I got a little different spin on it from my personal take. I have hope. I don't have belief.
Ooh,
I still hope that we do something, but I don't believe. I believe what I see, and that counters my hope.
Yeah,
and I think that's where Rally Nation at. We don't. We got he 8-8, like people are pointing out. We haven't looked good all season. We've had bad stars, and then you listen to some of the quotes he say after the games, right? And about the realest thing he said is, if I don't turn this thing around, my ass won't be here. Now, that was a masterpiece. But really, what I want to hear him say is, we haven't done right as coaches in putting our kids in the best possible situations. We haven't found out who our best players are, and we have to make adjustments to what we thought we could do as a team. We thought we could be a team that could just line up and run at people. We thought we were talented enough to be able to be conservative and still be successful. Specific things, all that general coach speak, I don't care what comes out of his mouth now. That's where I'm at, because I don't believe. And that's what I'm hoping they understand. It ain't what you say, it's what you do. People are looking for action. That will, in turn, let us be able to lean on our hope.
Well said. Well said.
And on top of that, the fact, like you said, Kelvin, we've seen what FAMU can be. And I think that's the thing about watching last night. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. The Cowboys and the Bucs are my team. I went to that game with no hope. And they won, and they tied. And I was like, hey, I'm cool. And then Marquise Bells scored, and James Houston made a big play. So, as the HBCU alumni, I now not only do I have hope, I have a little bit of pride. And so then all of a sudden, I get a little buy-in. Do I think Cowboys win the next game? Absolutely not. But am I hopeful? Am I excited to see Marquise Bell do some things and James Houston and these guys get opportunities? Yes. And I think that's where you kind of lose some of that belief, because we're looking at the bench and we're seeing where when other guys come in, the offense moves. He may not throw touchdowns, but guess what? When he was in there, we scored a touchdown quick. Thad Franklin ran the ball. Even us armchair football people, I played football. We're looking and you're looking at the defense and like, man, Jetson there, the corners back up a little bit. Like, you can kind of see that. And the thing about FAMU, it's a smart fan base. So this is not a dumb fan base. This is not a fan base that has no clue what football is.
Right.
You have a smart fan base. And the problem is with the smart fan base, you got people on the sidelines that can break down game, and you sitting up there looking like, oh, crap. So let alone when some of the fans can do it as well, and they're looking and they vocally on the sideline, Brian, you can hear them saying what's wrong. And then the play happens and you're like, everything the fans are saying is true. And then you sit next to some of these gurus on the sideline. I ain't gonna say no names, OG 30 and OG over here dropping dimes. You're like, dang, look, can you get OG on staff or something? Because I sat next to OG at the Valley game. I was next to OG so that's part of the problem. You got a smart fan base and they're not going for it because they understand what you're doing is not going to work.
Yeah.
Well said. Well said. When we come back after this final break, grades. Ooh, get the red pens out. It's going to be a bloodbath. And also we'll get into a little bit of the breaking news or the latest news as it's being reported regarding the next game. Still, we know we're playing Valley. That's the one thing we do know. Our opponent is Mississippi Valley State. It has not changed. Everything else is fluid. We'll talk about that on the other side. You're watching the Monday Night Review, the ONG Strike Zone, Things Up podcast right here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment. This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
College football fans, a champion will rise in Atlanta on December 13th. MEAC champion, SWAC champion, the 10th Cricket Celebration Bowl, crowning an HBCU national champion. For event and ticket information, visit thecelebrationbowl.com. ESPN Events presents Red Lobster Band of the Year. Returning to Atlanta on December 12th, 4 bands will qualify for the big stage, where 2 national champions will be crowned. Follow us for rankings updates throughout the season, and join us on December 12th. For event and ticket information, visit bandoftheyear.com.
When it comes to professional learning, teachers deserve better. From the leader in online learning, Stride brings you the Stride Professional Development Center, an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that gives teachers choice and flexibility, allowing them to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. It's time you take charge of your learning. Visit us today to get started.
Welcome back to the ONG Strike Zone's Monday night review of the Florida A&M Alabama State game. Bryan and Kelvin here, along with Keith Hadley, Things Up podcast. Hit the thumbs up and the like button wherever and however you're watching us. These brothers got they pens out. Hold on, I got my red pen here. I got there it is. This my grading pen. This is what I be giving. This is what I hit the kids with all the time. My red pen, because we about to give some grades, and sometimes on test day when the kids say, "Mr. Fulford, how were the tests?" and I'm like, "Boy, there's a lot of red on that paper," and they're like, "Oh man, Lord have mercy." So yeah, well, we always around this time we do the segment where we grade the special teams, offense, defense, and the coaching. I mean, let's just, I feel like there might be some mass continuous grades that all look alike. So let's we like to kind of go in segment.
Hey, we need some of those. We need some flashcards, man. We just all put
next segment. Not like that. Next
week
segment.
we have to do that.
Next week we will do the flashcards. Next week when we do flashcards, I like that. Very good, Kelvin. I like that. We see this is a work in progress. This is our first year doing this. Every year, Keith came in with the good, bad, and ugly. Kelvin with the suggestion on doing the flashcards. We're gonna get better every week. Okay, well, let's start special teams. Anybody giving any passing grades to special teams this week?
No.
I give him a C. Like, you missed that field goal, but you had some solid kick returns. Even though you did bobble a kick return late, but it was garbage time at that point. I can give him a C. I mean, I could almost flirt with a B, but I can give him a C today.
Hey, as often as we fielded kickoff returns, I thought the kickoff return team coverage. I thought Canary did a good job for the most part. I mean, I think he had almost 100 yards of all-purpose, or 100 yards in kickoff returns.
He did.
So I respect the, we almost got the onside kick when we did it. Almost.
This is not horseshoes
or hand grenades.
Or hand grenades. I'm so Kelvin's not passing anybody on special teams. I'm with Keith. I'm going C-. I'm going C- on special teams. Defense. Ooh. Anything passing? What do we got? Pull out the red pen. Anybody? Oh. Yeah. Keith had it right. F. Yeah. We gave up 42 points at home. I know we were talking about the most points we've given up at home in a long time. It's been a long time since we've given up that many points in a loss.
They don't feel too long, man.
Yeah, on the field too long. So I think we're all in agreement there on the defense.
Well, make some plays then.
Right. Yeah.
Don't let jokers run it down your throat. Don't be 8 for 12 on third downs and 1 for 1 on fourth downs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Make some daggone plays.
I had no problem with Alabama State celebrating because my entire time was like this. If you don't like it, stop it. You ain't got to put somebody in the jaw, but
let me go back for a second. Keith and Tim Young, let me give you a shout out while we were talking about special teams. Did anybody address the fair catch?
Yes.
What was addressed in there for anybody who didn't catch the off the record? Okay.
Off the record. So
whatever you can share then. Let's hear it.
So I'm not gonna say the person's name because they asked off the record and Cozy did answer. But off the record, our player made a hand motion. And our players were notifying each other saying, me, you take the ball.
And it wasn't a return guy.
No. And so the SWAC refs determined that because he made a hand motion that was a fair catch signal. Now, my biggest problem was also with the spot of the ball, because if it is a fair catch signal, why is it at the 5-yard line?
It goes back to the 25. That's right.
And so that part. We didn't get that explanation. We didn't get that part, but we did get that first half.
And I would tell you, it was one ref, and that one ref who was on Alabama State sideline, I think it was the head linesman, because I thought I saw an H on his back. But he made almost every bad call that was made in that game.
And they had when they're scoring the refs. I don't know if you saw the young lady with a clipboard. She was scoring the refs. So, yeah.
He doesn't work as a WNBA referee as well, does he? I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
That was a low blow. I apologize right here on the air. That was a low blow. That was low. I'm sorry. I'm better than that. All right. Well, thank you, Tim, for reminding us about that. Yeah, because in the middle of the moment, I was Google searching the NCAA rules on fair catch. That ball there was nothing in there about, unless it was deep down buried and I didn't see it. Like if a non-returner calls, regardless of whoever calls the fair catch, that ball should have came out to the 25.
Correct.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And nobody did they were communicating with each other, but nobody did a fair catch. That was on my side of the field.
Nobody raises his hand, thumbs up, pretty much.
Yeah.
But Steve, thank you for pointing that out, Steve. Thank you, because I was thinking the same thing. How are we gonna have off the record but proceed to tell what happened on the record? I love it.
Hey, I mean, I can't say no names. Look, I ain't say no names though. I'm acting like Tank over here. I ain't saying no names.
I love it. Okay. Offense. Keith, put it up. Flash it up.
F minus.
F minus.
F minus.
I was gonna go F plus, but okay.
Plus.
to not see to go from playing Jet, who was the motivation for RJ against FAU as well as Albany, the kid, and to not play him at all this game, understanding certain things. Yeah, F minus is a great grade.
Yes.
F minus.
Like,
I don't know how
can't-
many dashes
at least
that is.
'cause-
Yeah, I don't think you have that many dashes.
Because you could at least put Jefferson in the game. Why is RJ in there in the fourth quarter in the game out of reach?
like
What are you trying to have in Rally Nation? We already know there's better talent.
and on top of that, like, where's from the previous game, the third drive, you pretty much announced. You didn't announce what everyone knew, that Jet was coming in, and Jet looked solid. And then at FAU, all these other games where you kind of sprinkled Jet in and he gave us a spark and all these other things. And when in the conference game, when you need a flipping spark, you don't try to get a spark. Like, that was the only thing the people that were defending him, like, oh yeah, when he go to the bench, he get his mind right, which is crazy, but still, okay, I'll listen to that. And then to just be like, nah, we're just gonna ride this out.
Okay. So I'm just curious about something, guys, and I'm not speculating on anything. I'm not saying anything, but I have a question. I'm just curious. What are the rules in the NCAA regarding player eligibility and games played and things of that nature? What is the NCAA rule?
4 games.
You can play up to 4 games and still maintain your eligibility or red shirt for the season. And it don't have to be consecutive games. It can be any 4 games.
Any 4 games. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You just can't go with that.
Misplays your hand.
So we've only seen him 2 games this season. I just want to be clear about that. We've only seen 2. He did not play a lick in the Howard game. Did not play 1 snap in the Howard game.
There you go.
So okay, just curious. I just wanted to, because I think we were dancing around it without talking about it, and I just wanted to put it out there so that if people are curious.
Keith didn't dance around it. I said it up front. That boy don't play. He gonna hit the transfer portal. I ain't dancing, tiptoeing. No, man, I said it with my chest. It's like, no, the expectation is for him to redshirt and transfer because you're not playing him. Like, he knows what's up. Like, this kid threw for 2,000 yards in junior college against college level talent. And yeah, RJ has decent stats and he protects the ball statistically. But when you're watching the game, you're not seeing the production. So, again, it's not a hate or dislike. It's just
no. I'm also worried about the depth of the quarterback room. I've seen every game. We only have 3 quarterbacks dressing. Remember, in the spring we had like 5, 6 guys,
7.
and about 3 of them gone.
Yeah, we're down to 3
because of how things. You got to remember. Let me say this. I got to point it out. We on our ONG we keep it real. So Johnson RJ just got here. He got here in the summer. Jet just got here. What you expect those kids who was there during the spring and in the previous season? How you think they feel? They coming to work, putting in the work, doing everything that's been asked of them.
Yep.
And they don't get a chance to compete, bro.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, it's tough.
2 fingers, and honestly, these in these days and times, it's 2 fingers, and you can split one of them in the middle because these kids really they like that. Like, they understand there's opportunities, and the way the transfer portal was, these kids are going to get opportunities to go somewhere else. I mean, especially if you're a quarterback that's halfway decent. Like, they may not play Division I, but if you were decent, you got a shot somewhere. And sitting there on the bench, not getting a chance, especially they sat in practice and watched the same thing we watched. We all played sports. When the person in front of you is not better than you, and when the person in front of you is better than you. When the person in front of you better, you get better. But when they not, you start looking at coach real quick and be like, sir. And there's no shock when many times you be like, I'm gonna find the team because you ain't playing the right players.
Where my dogs at? You watch that game, man. You don't watch 4 games now. Where's that damn dog on our team? Who's our leaders? I will say the closest thing I see to it, probably on offense, is our running back. And then on defense, I do think our linebacker, but you rotate him out so much, Nayron Jenkins.
Yep.
I think he has some dog.
I need more people with that dog like Nayron has right now. I need more dogs like Nayron Jenkins out there on defense. Honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some preseason SWAC All-American guys out there that we need some dogs like Nayron out there, or that mindset.
Yeah. So we need to feed the dogs too, though. If you see them making plays and they showing that fight and that pride, man, all this rotation because you brought somebody in from FBS, no sir. Thad and Nayron are two closest thing we got to dogs, man. Feed those dogs, let them loose.
Well, coaching is the last category. I think we all I know where you and there's a new grade. Incomplete.
No, they don't get no eye.
Like
Kelvin's not giving an eye. You're giving an eye.
For me, I want to give an F, but it seems like we haven't learned from our mistakes. So at this point, I mean, you're not gonna get to retake the class if you keep it up. I mean, you said it your darn self.
Retake. I'm demoting. You got to do the 5th grade all over again.
How would we evaluate our assistant coaches? I think I see and hear a lot of the thoughts of the head coach right now. But what about our coordinators and other position coaches? Where are we in terms of accountability, grading, what we've seen so far from those gentlemen?
They get the same grade. The only question is, are they allowed to coach? And I'm gonna be real specific with this one. So our defensive coordinator has FBS experience, FCS experience, HBCU experience, all as a coordinator. Why in the hell is James Cozy III calling defense on game day? I feel much better if my defensive coordinator, who got 30 plus years as a defensive coordinator, was calling plays and we look like this.
Mm-hmm. Same thing on the offense. Offensively, you brought this guy in to call offense. End of the season, the offense looked competent. Even when it was like, we're going to run first, and you didn't. Like, yeah, we're going to run first. You still threw the ball around. You slung the ball a good little bit last year. Go back and watch. But offensively, we're not seeing anything. So it's kind of that question of, are they being hamstrung, or are they just not good at what they're doing? Or is it both? But right now, you get the same grade as a head coach. Like, it's a group project. All y'all failing.
Yeah. 1-3 is 1-3. And that one was close.
That was luck. I mean, honestly.
Onside kick being off. Yeah, you're right.
Like, you are a fortunate play from losing at home to a Division II team.
Yeah.
And
what's that fortunate play, Keith? I don't follow
that onside kick.
That onside kick.
They were onside.
They recovered it. Yeah, they recovered it.
Like,
okay. Okay, I got you. I got where you're going with it.
I think we still should have won it, but you know.
Yeah. Okay. All right, I got you. All right. Well, can we put that game to bed? Alabama State, it is done. We are on to Valley.
Are we?
Now, with that,
in many ways.
Right now, our opponent this Saturday is Mississippi Valley State. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. The game is scheduled to air on SWAC TV. The location of the game is now what has sort of come up into question over the last few hours. A report on HBCUGameDay.com, courtesy of Stephen Gaither, and of course, Vaughn Wilson, of course, works with HBCU Game Day. Recently reported HBCU game won't take place in Mercedes-Benz Stadium after all. Multiple sources have told HBCU Game Day that the Georgia Football Classic between Mississippi Valley State and FAMU will not be played at Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The game, set for October 4th, was supposed to serve as one of the fall's marquee HBCU football events. Instead, confusion now surrounds the matchup between FAMU and Mississippi Valley State, from the location to tickets and logistics. Let's first say to anybody, this is Mississippi Valley State's scheduled home game. Okay. This is not FAMU's home game. So, this ain't on us. This one ain't on us. FAMU has absolutely nothing to do with this game, per se. So, as of right now, there are multiple options being considered for the site of this game.
Go ahead.
That's the best that I'm going to. There are updates coming left and right. All that, and again, these are all unofficial reports. I'm not going to go too deep in the woods with what we're hearing, but we're hearing reports from multiple college venues in the Atlanta and surrounding Atlanta area. And I'll let you guys in the chat room or whoever's watching, you can make the presumptions and be pretty good guesses about the various schools that have stadiums around Atlanta and the Atlanta surrounding area. It's also being considered, since it is Mississippi Valley State's home game, that it could possibly go back to Itabena. Okay. Nothing is official as of right now on our show. So that's where we're at with the game. I know all the logistics are being discussed, talked about. Kelvin, what, if anything, do you want to share in regard to what's happening and where things are at right at the moment?
We don't duck no smoke around here.
New shirt, t-shirt alert. We don't duck no smoke around here. There you go.
This is unacceptable. The game week, and
on Monday,
we're in this position. And yes, it's valid home game, but it was a neutral site game. Yes, there's some contract things that went through our university also. We're going to have to do a whole show to talk about neutral site games, promotions, and everything. The only thing I want to say right now is this. Pro stadiums are expensive. Period. And you always hear me talk about, we talk about what promotions and promoters and venues, we talk about that part of, you know what we don't talk about? HBCUs and are we good partners in making the success of events happen? You can't sign a contract in August so people can't sell tickets to September 2nd and expect success in a pro facility. That's just not good business. We don't duck no smoke around here. It's unacceptable on all parties. Yes. Yes, you can blame, absolutely. And like I say, I'm not going to get into it, but there's a lot of blame to go around, and this is just unprofessional. I know the work, the extra work now that the administration and these athletic departments got to do to try to logistically make all this happen, man. It's chaos. And it's unnecessary chaos. And we're the problem behind it. But we want to point fingers at one person, and no. I would tell you this failure is the failure of both schools as well as the third party. Period. That's all I got.
You want to add anything there, Keith?
Absolutely. I mean, Georgia Tech's away, Kennesaw State is away. So you do what you will with that. But it's one of those things where I think a lot of times we talk about the logistics of football and we don't realize like ticket sales sometimes do matter, especially when it comes to our classics. Like a lot of time, I'm very quick if a game's on ESPN to say, okay, the ticket sales really don't matter that much. If it's one of our classics, but you'll notice most times with ESPN, they got a title sponsor that's really big money that's like carrying the weight. So if you get 20,000 people in the OBC, it don't look good, but you still got somebody to kind of buffer it. Whereas it's not in this game, you can see where it's they probably overplayed their hand. Like you probably should have went to a Kennesaw State or heck, go to that new high school in Beaufort if you really want to play it in Atlanta that bad. But this is one of those games, and this is a lesson where we really have to understand that in some games ticket sales matter, and other games they don't. But if you're going to set up these kind of classics, especially NFL stadiums, what is it, $650,000? What HBCU off tickets alone is going to do $650 when it's not a natural rivalry
and
to pay for the stadium?
And let me add to that. Not only is it expense that $650, you got guarantees involved. You're trying to bring bands and teams and travel, and even with ESPN games, ESPN events own about 30 something of the 40 games that are bowl games. And these neutral site games you see the Power Four have, you know what's in their contract?
Tickets.
HBCUs better understand this, as well as these promoters when they come with these games. What's included in their contracts? When Florida State played LSU in Citrus Bowl, they had to pay or guarantee $1.3 million or $1.5 million in ticket sales.
Yep. The guarantee pretty much was you had to sell out. So for FSU and LSU, if they did not sell out, they had to pay back for a price. So that was part of the, if you know, for those who didn't know, that's why they got so much money. Well, they put up the money up front, and then they fronted the money, and then they got the money back after they sold the tickets. But it wasn't just clear.
It ain't free.
They got
it ain't free money out there, folks.
No.
This is what free money look like when you think you can just sign somebody gonna give you $500,000 and you ain't got no skin in the game. You're looking for a venue at a high school at the last minute.
Yep. And you think about it, to do this game at the Benz, bring in bands, everything else, you're talking about like $1 million budget probably.
Yeah.
And
minimum.
Your Valley's not $1 million product. Respectfully, I'm not trying to be disrespectful or funny, but attendance wise, they're not going to bring $1 million.
No, they only had a home game this past weekend and it only drew 5.
Was it 5 or 3?
I don't know. Maybe it was 3. It was barely a little bit over what they drew at the Circle City Classic back in Indy. So that's still, I'm sore about that. But I'll say this: like, people think, okay, it's just easy to go back to Valley. Well, it's not, from the standpoint of Valley had already moved off of this game, and whether it be security, personnel, all of the game day operations,
that's
stuff that goes around.
Yeah, that budget
they were
moved.
They were budgeting not being there for this game.
And
now all of a sudden you can't just thank you. That part people may say
Valley's not easy to get to.
Valley's
one of the hardest HBCUs in the SWAC to get to. Like, probably, sadly, both Mississippi schools are probably the hardest HBCUs to get to in the SWAC.
It is probably it's probably easier logistically to find an alternative stadium in Atlanta than it is to move to Itabena.
Right.
Because at least if you are in Atlanta, that site venue can probably hire local staffing. They're going to charge you. You're going to pay, but at least it's local, right? So, and the money's got to be right. So you guys can, there are facilities that other HBCU conferences and other FCS schools play in, and have played in the area, right? And so the question is, will the organizers, the Georgia Football Classic, be able to, I got to imagine in the next 24 hours, something's going to happen in the next 24 hours. So by the time we wake up tomorrow, I guess we'll know where the game will be. Or maybe even late this evening. I don't know. Somebody. Question is, who's going to cut that check? Somebody's got to, that's a heck of a bill to try to come up with the front money for some college campus to say, yeah, we'll let you use our stadium, but we're going to need such and such money by like 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. A cashier's check. Hope some folks are liquid enough to do that.
Yeah, but I would tell you, smaller venues aren't that expensive, and it's nothing like dealing with the pros. It's a whole different monster. But yeah, if you can get Kennesaw on some of these high schools, yeah, it's
even Morehouse. I mean, you hate to kind of beat it, but
it's not as challenging price wise. Yeah, and the third party got to assist with all that. Still, yeah.
All right. Well, probably by the time we have Wednesday's ONG Strike Zone, we will know where we're playing the game at, I imagine. I hope.
I mean, you need to. Heck, I mean, you got to think like folks have to travel to the game. Like, I mean, not just like fans, but people working the game. Like, not saying no names, but
somebody on this show has to work on Saturday.
Right.
My whole plans changed all of a sudden. I think they changed. I don't know.
And I hate to say it, brother, but I doubt you driving from here to Itabena. That's 12 hours. And even if you do that, now you got to find a flight to Jackson and then a rental car to get from Jackson to Itabena. Like, so that's still an hour and a half, 2 hour drive. Like, it's a logistical nightmare to get back to Itabena. Like, respectfully. And I'm not, again, I don't say that. I always say this. I've been there before. I also pack some off. But I've been there before. I've made that drive. It's hard to get to.
I'm sorry, Keith. I want to say that JT and a couple other people, the SWAC does not want to cancel this game.
No,
they don't want to even want to reschedule this game if it can be avoided, because first off, FAMU doesn't have any room to reschedule. We're playing 9 consecutive weeks at this point. We've already exhausted our bye week, right? We don't even have a bye week before the Florida Classic. So where are you going to put the game? Depending
on who you got a quarterback, you might have a space at the end of the season. Sorry, why you laughing down? we keep it a buck on OG, right?
Hold on.
We don't want no smoke around here.
Hey, SQLQ, where have you been? Where you've been gone for about 2 decades?
That stadium,
Morris Brown does not have a stadium anymore. You can't use that for movie shoots. Movies and scenes about drug life or third world.
Walking Dead?
Yes, that's about the only way you can use that stadium. Good Lord.
They literally use it for The Walking Dead at this point.
They do. The SIAC has held a championship game at Lakewood Stadium. Yeah, so you're probably right there. They can't afford Tech. Mr. Campbell, who knows? Maybe they can.
Do you want to park at Georgia? Have y'all ever been to Georgia Tech? Look, I'm not telling you from what. Look, this is from when Florida State lost.
Parking nightmare.
I've been there. That is not an easy place to get to. I was at that game when Florida State lost and they returned that kick.
It ain't gonna be with 2,000 people there anyway. So
put it in a high school game, call it a night. You go to Dutchtown. I bet Dutchtown they'll be happy to take your money.
Yeah. All right. It is a league game, Troy. Why are you saying it's not a league game? Maybe I'm missing something. This is a league game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. This game counts.
It's an Eastern Conference.
Eastern Division Conference game. Yeah, this one counts. You got to play this game somehow, some way.
Yeah.
Oh, B. Stark said Georgia Tech has the Chris Brown concert. Well, there goes that right there.
Well,
there goes that.
Down to Kennesaw or
I forgot about Georgia State. Is Georgia State home or away?
They have James Madison.
Well, there goes that.
Look, I pulled the schedule up.
I don't even want to. I don't want to play this game with y'all. This is frustrating.
This is
frustrating
ridiculous.
enough.
Yeah,
exactly. It's ridiculous. I'm just glad I don't.
Where Buford play.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to make this decision, and I know this is going to just pray for somebody. Pray for these organizers. Pray for everybody involved. If you believe in the power of prayer, pray for FAMU. That's it. That's where we at right now, and it'll work itself out. We've seen tougher times. We've seen darker days.
So how does that affect the travel budget though? Because wasn't all that supposed to be like pretty much taken care of? And a bus ride to Atlanta can't be more expensive than a bus ride to Mississippi.
No, we don't avoid no smoke. We don't avoid no smoke yet. What should happen is those same folks, promoters who was paying for the travel, they still on the hook for their travel.
Mm-hmm.
It should not impact the budget. Should not.
And do fans get refunds?
They're going to have to. Yeah, they're going to have to.
Yikes.
Tony says if we were 3-1, this wouldn't be an issue because Rattlers would have been on their horse
ticket sales
to Atlanta. That part, ticket sales would have been a whole lot better. That part I will agree.
So let me explain. Typically with pro stadiums, to Tony's point, if you got 10,000 tickets sold at $50, you got 500, 600,000 at least already in Ticketmaster, because those pro stadiums will not allow you to use anybody else. They use their own vendors for everything. Well, the tickets, if you got the ticket sales there, they ain't worried about getting their money because they got the money within the ticket pot. But if you only sold 2,700 tickets, which is what I heard the number, that's what the number was, and you ain't got enough to cover in that pot, then they want their money up front before the game is played. Just for those who might be interested.
Chris, that's a low blow, Chris. That's low. It's a low blow, Chris. See? It's unnecessary, Chris. So unnecessary.
Hey.
All right.
Hey, we don't avoid no smoke around here, Chris.
At all.
We'll be back. Debo came. And when he leave, we'll be talking.
All right, let's get ready to pack it up and get out of here. Keith, let people know where they can find you and your next show date, time.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate y'all. Look, Fifth Quarter FAMU, run that page. Also, Things Up, Blue Sky, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course, YouTube. Definitely follow those pages there. And, big shout out to Coach Beal. She came out on Sunday and, was on the show. So Thursday, we're going to be back, to talk a little bit about this Valley game. And, hopefully we have some news by then where how Bryan going to figure out where he going. He going to Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, or, they just going to put the game in Tallahassee and cut bait. Look, bring that game to Tallahassee. We need our lick back.
There's a thought. Valley wasn't like Valley was traveling with a bunch of fan base anyway that was going to be in Atlanta or anyway. I'm being disrespectful. Yeah.
No, to be honest.
I'm trying to be. Yeah. It's the new me. What you got?
Out of them 2,700 tickets, they had about 300.
Yeah, exactly. I might, Zach. You're right. I might need a flight. I might need one. We'll find out. Where's Waldo? Where's Bryan gonna be? Who knows? I don't know. Maybe we'll tell you by Wednesday. Make sure to tune in Wednesday night, 8:00 Eastern, 7 Central, ONG StrikeZone on normal Wednesday. Kelvin, we got any guests lined up yet for Wednesday? How's Wednesday looking?
Yes, we definitely have Rattler, who's a sports anchor in the Jackson area, young lady who I know pretty good. So we're going to have Marissa Stubbs on the show. And then we have a couple other guests lined up. We'll see how that pans out.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Make sure you guys tune in Wednesday night. We'll definitely know where we're going to be playing by then. I'm like 99.9% sure. It's always a possibility I'm not, but we'll keep 90. That's why I said 100. Yeah, I can't say 100 because I'm not 100% sure, but I feel confident in saying 99.9. Hey, you can always support the show. You can donate. Those of you in the YouTube feed, even Alabama State fans like Rontez Lewis, man, we appreciate you, man. You guys, congratulations again to the Hornets. I mean, you guys took a beating for the last 4 or 5 times we played y'all, and you exercised the demons, and you really whooped us. So,
yeah,
I mean, hey, we got to own that. We got to wear it out. We got to wear it.
The beautiful thing about being a Rattler, we give out so many whoopings. We know how to take one.
We know how to take yeah. So congratulations. And you can always donate to the show. You see the Cash App, or you can leave a super chat. Got to say thank you to William Murray. Appreciate you dropping a donation there via Cash App. And to anybody else, we'll make sure to give you a shout out if you make a donation. Any amount helps. A cup of coffee or steak dinner, whatever you want to give. It's all appreciated. It all goes into the coffers and helps us continue to do what we're doing. So that's going to do it for tonight's recap. And for Keith Hadley and Kelvin Rozier, I'm Brian Fulford. Stay positive, Rattler Nation. Say some prayers, and we will get the ship righted. It will find its sailing course.
That's right. Keep supporting. We gonna fuss. We gonna kick the tires. We gonna maybe throw a brick at the window, but keep supporting. Keep it. That train keep moving.
Keep supporting. Every dollar you give allows you to scream and fuss a little bit louder. So you want to really fuss, give more. And then you can really fuss. So there we go. All right, folks, that's going to do it for tonight. Enjoy the rest of your Monday night. We'll see you on Wednesday night for the ONG Strike Zone, and we'll see you on Thursday for Fangs Up Podcast. Maybe you'll find us in the A. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
I had to make sure, y'all bust y'all's out. I had to get my FAMU hat right too now.
I say, peace up. A-Town down. There we go. We out.